This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, how the residents of Varanasi, how all the residents of Varanasi became Vaishnava. At that time, Brahmana from the province of Maharashtra mentioned Lord Chaitanya's explanation of Atma was, this is Madhya chapter 25, text 161. Maharashtra Brahman stated that Śrī Kṛṣṇa had already explained that verse in 61 ways. Everyone was astonished to hear this. Tabe savaloka shunite agraha karila ekashati artha prabhu vivari kaila. When all the people gathered, they expressed a desire to hear again the 61 different meanings of the Atmanama Shloka. Śrī Kṛṣṇa again explained them. Shuniya lokera bada chamatkara haila Chaitanya Gosai Śrī Kṛṣṇa nirdharila. When everyone heard Śrī Kṛṣṇa's explanation of the Atmanama Shloka, everyone was astonished and struck with wonder. They concluded that Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was none other than Lord Krishna himself. Etaka hirutiya chalila gaurahari Etaka hirutiya chalila gaurahari Namaskara kare loka hari dhvani kari. After giving those explanations again, Śrī Chaitanya arose and took his leave. All the people there offered their obeisances unto him and chanted the Maha Mantra. Shavaka Shiva Shikare Nama Sankirtana Prema Hamse Kanda Gae Nartana. All the inhabitants of Kasi Varanasi began chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in ecstatic love. Sometimes they laughed, sometimes they cried, sometimes they chanted, and sometimes they danced. Sannyasi Pandita Kare Bhagavata Vichare Varanasi Pura Prabhu Karila Nistare. After this, all the Mayavadi sannyasis and learned scholars at Varanasi became discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered them. Nija lokalana prabhu haila vasagara Varanasi haila dvitiya nadiya nagara. Śrī Chaitanya then returned to his residence with his personal associates. Thus he turned the whole city of Varanasi another Navadipa, Nadiya Nagara. Both Navadipa and Varanasi are celebrated for their highly educational activities. At the present time, these cities are still inhabited by great learned scholars. But Varanasi is specifically a center for Mayavadi sannyasis who are learned scholars. However, unlike Navadipa, there are hardly any devotees in Varanasi. Consequently, a discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam is very rare in Varanasi. In Navadipa, such discussion is quite ordinary. After Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Varanasi and turned the Prakashana of Saraswati and his disciples into Vaisnavas, Varanasi became like Navadipa because many devotees began discussing. Because so many devotees began discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. Even at the present moment, one can hear many discussions on Srimad Bhagavatam taking place on the banks of the Ganges. Many scholars and sannyasis gather there to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and perform Sankirtana. Nijaganalana Prabhu Kare Hasyakari Kashite Ami Ailana Vichete Bhavakari. Among his own associates, Śrī Chaitanya Prabhu laughingly said, I came here to sell my emotional ecstatic love. Kashite Grahaka Nahi Vastuna Vaikaya Vastuna Vikaya Punarapi Desheva Hiloe Nahi Yaya. Although I came to Varanasi to sell my goods, there were no customers, and it appeared necessary for me to carry them back to my own country. Ani boja vahimu toma sovara tukahaila toma savara ichaya vinamule vilaila. All of you were feeling unhappy that no one was purchasing my goods and that I would have to carry them away. Therefore, by your will only, I distributed them without charging. purpose. When he began distributing the message of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western countries, a similar thing happened. In the beginning, we were very much disappointed for at least 1 year because no one came forth to help this movement. But by the grace of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some young boys joined this movement in 1966. Of course, we distributed Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message of Hare Krishna Mahamantra without bargaining or selling. As it is, the movement has spread all over the world with the assistance of the European and American boys and girls. We therefore pray for all the blessings of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon all the devotees in the Western world who are spreading this movement. Samvakya loka tarite tumara avatara purva dakshina paschima karila nistara. All the Lord's devotees then said, you have incarnated to deliver fallen souls. You have delivered them in the east and in the south, and now you are delivering them in the west. Eka varanasi chila tomate vulkum vimukha tahanistariya kaila ama savara shukha. Only Varanasi was left because people there were against the missionary activities. Now you delivered them, and we are all very happy. Varanasi gramayadi kaukola hala aila shuni grama deshi loka ashita lagila. After the news of these events were broadcast everywhere from surrounding neighborhoods began to pour to see Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Laksha koti loka aisha nahi kaganana Sankina sane prabhura napaya darshana. Hundreds of thousands of people came to see Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There was no counting the number because the Lord's residence was very small. Not everyone could see him. Prabhuya vaisnavas vishvesha darshane duidikya loka kare prabhu lokane. When Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to take his bath in the Ganges and to see the temple of Vishveshwara, people would line up on both sides to see the Lord. Bahutuli Prabhu kahe bala Krishna Hari Dandavata kare loke hari dhvani kari. When Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed by the people, he would raise his arms and say, please chant Krishna, please chant Hari. All the people received him by chanting Hare Krishna and would offer their respects to him by chanting Hey Mata Dina Pancha Loka Nistariya Aradina Chalila Prabhu Udvignahana. In the same for 5 days, Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered the people of Varanasi. Finally, on the next day, he became very eager to leave. Ratre Utti Prabhu Yadi Kari Lagamana Piche lage laila tave bhakta pancha jana. After rising very early on the 6th day, Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to leave, and 5 devotees began to follow him. Talpana Mishra Raghunatha Mahashri Brahmana Chandra Shekhara Kirtaniya Paramananda Panchadana. These 5 devotees of Tapana Mishra, Raghunatha, the Maharashtra Brahman, Chandra Shekhara, and Paramananda Kirtaniya. Sabe chahe Prabhu sange nila chalayate Sabare vidyara nila Prabhu yatna sahite. These 5 wanted to accompany Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannath Puri. The Lord attentively bade them farewell. Yanra ichha pache aisha amare dekhite Eve ami ekayam jari khanda pate. Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you want to see me, you may come later, but for the time being I shall go alone through Jharikanda forest. Sana dene kaila tumi yaha vrindavana Tomara dui bhai tatha kariya che gamana. Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then advised Sri Sanatana Goswami to proceed towards Vrindavan, and he informed him that his 2 brothers had already gone there. Kantha karangi amora kangala bhaktagana Vrindavane aila tandira kariha palana. Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, all my devotees who go to Vrindavan are generally very poor. They each have nothing with them but a torn quill and a small water bottle. Therefore, Sanatana, you should give them shelter and maintain them. Following the footsteps of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have constructed temple in both Vrindavan and Mayapur, Navadvipa, just to give shelter to the foreign devotees coming from Europe and America. Since the Hare Krishna movement started, many Europeans and Americans have been visiting Vrindavan, but they have not been properly received by any ashram or temple there. It is the purpose of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give shelter and train them in devotion service. There are also many tourists eager to come to India and understand India's spiritual life. And the devotees in a temple, both in Vrindavan and Navadvipa, should make arrangements to accommodate them as far as possible. Etavani charila prabhu sabha alangiya sabai padila tatha murchita maya. After saying this, Śrī Chaitanya embraced them all and began to proceed on his way, and they all fainted and fell down. Katakshane uti sabe dukhi dukhe dharaila sanate gosai vrindavanera charira. After some time, all the devotees got up and returned to their homes very much grief-stricken. Sanatana Goswami proceeded towards Vrindavana alone. Eta rupa gosaya be mathura aila dhruva gate tare subudhiraya melila. When Rupa Goswami reached Mathura, he met Subudhiraya on the banks of Yamuna at the place called Dhruva Ghata. Purveya be Subudhiraya Chila Gauradhikari Ushena Kansa Shayada Kare Tahara Chakari. Formerly Subudhiraya had been a big landlord in the Gauda Desha. Shayyada Hussain Khan was then a servant of Subudhiraya. Diki Koda Dedare Mushpa Kaila Chitra Panayaya Tare Chabuka Marila. Subudhiraya put Hussain Khan in charge of digging a big lake, but once finding fault with him, he was talking with his whip. Pacheya me Hussain Khana Gauda Raja Haila Subudhiraya Tino Bahubadaila. Later Hussain Khan somehow other was appointed Nawab by the central Muslim government. As a matter of obligation, he increased the opulence of Subudhiraya. Tara Sri Tara Ange Dekha Maranera Chinna Subudhiraya Marite Kahe Rajasthana. Later, when the wife of Nawab Sayyid Hussain Khan saw the big marks on his body, she requested him to kill Subudhiraya. Raja Kahe Hamara Poshta Raya Pita Tahare Mari Muhami Malena Nahe Kata. Hussain Khan replied, Subudhiraya maintained me very carefully. He was just like a father to me. He said, now you are asking me to kill him. This is not a very good proposal. Sri Kahe Jati Lahaya Viprane Nam Arive Raja Kahe Jati Nile Himonahi Nive. At the last alternative, the wife suggested that the Nawab take away Subudhiraya's caste and turn him into a Muslim. But Hussain Khan replied that if he did this, Subudhiraya would not live. Sri Mari Teja Raja Sankat Viparila Koronyara Pani Tara Mukhe Doyoyaila. This became a perplexing problem for him because his wife kept requesting him to kill Subudhiraya. Finally, the Nawab sprinkled a little water on Subudhiraya's head from a pitcher that has been used by a Muslim. "500 years ago in India, the Hindus were so rigid and strict that the Muslim would sprinkle a little water from his pitcher upon a Hindu. The Hindu was immediately ostracized. Recently, in 1947, during the partition day, there was a big riot between Hindus and Muslims, especially in Mecca. The Hindus were forcibly made to eat cow's flesh, and consequently they began crying, thinking they had become Muslim. Actually, the Muslims in India did not come from the country of Muslim, but the Hindus instituted a custom that somehow or other, if one contacted a Muslim, he would become a Muslim. Rupa and Sanatana were born in a high Brahmana family, but because they accepted employment under the Muslim government, they were considered Muslim. Subudhiraya was sprinkled with water from the pitcher of a Muslim, and consequently he was condemned to have become a Muslim. Later, Aurangzeb, the Muslim emperor, introduced a tax specially meant for Hindus. Being oppressed in the Hindu community, many low-class Hindus preferred to become Muslims. In this way, the Muslim population increased. Later, the British government made it a policy to divide Hindus and Muslims, and thus they maintained ill feeling between them. The result was that India was divided into Pakistan and Hindustan. From early history appears that the entire earth was under one culture, Vedic culture. But gradually, due to religious and cultural division, the rule fragmented into many subdivisions. Now the earth is divided into many countries, religion, political parties. Despite these political and religious divisions, we advocate that everyone should unite under one culture, Krishna consciousness. People should accept one God, Krishna, one scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, and one activity, devotion service to God. Thus people may live happily upon this earth and combine to produce sufficient food. In such a society, there is no question of scarcity, famine, or cultural and religious degradation. The so-called caste system and national divisions are artificial. According to a Vaishnava philosophy, they are all external bodily designation. The Krishna consciousness movement is not based upon bodily designation. It is a transcendental movement on the platform of spiritual understanding. If the people of the world understand the basic principle of life is spiritual identification, they would understand that the business of spirit soul is to serve the Supreme Spirit Krishna. As the Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamayahamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha, the living entity in the conditioned world are an eternal fragmental part. All the living entities in different forms are sons of Krishna. Therefore, they are meant to serve Krishna, the original Supreme Father. If this philosophy is accepted, the failure of the United Nations to unite all the nations is sufficiently compensated all over the world by a great Krishna consciousness movement. Recently, we talked with the Christian leaders in Australia, including the Catholic Bishop of Melbourne, and everyone was pleased with the philosophy and oneness and religious consciousness. Tabe subidhiraya sehi chadmana apana varanasi aila vishaya chadiya. Taking the Navas, bringing water upon him as an opportunity, Subudhiraya left his family and business affairs and went to Varanasi. It appears that Subudhiraya was a big landlord and a responsible, respectable gentleman. He could not, however, avoid the social misconception that one becomes Muslim and water is sprinkled upon face from a Muslim pitcher. Actually, he was planning to give a better life and leave his family. Hindu culture recommends 4 divisions: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Subudhira was thinking of taking sannyasa and by the grace of Krishna received the opportunity. He therefore left his family and went to Varanasi. System of Varnashram Dharma is very scientific. If one is directed by Varnashram institution, he'll naturally think of retiring from family life at the end of his life. Therefore sannyasa is compulsory at the age of 50. Kaya Shita Kuchila Tinno Pandite Ragane Tanda Jahe Tapta Vihita Khana Chada Prane. Subudhira consulted the learned Brahmana at Varanasi, asked him how conversion to Islam could be counteracted. They advised him to drink hot ghee and give up his life. Keha kahe nahe alpa shahaya Shuniyara hilaraya kareya sannyasa. Subudhira consulted some other Brahmana. They told him that he had not committed grievous fault and consequently he should not drink hot ghee and give up his life. As a result, Subudhira was doubtful about what to do. The another instance of Hindu custom, one Brahmana would give advice condoning a particular fault, other would give advice to the contrary. Typical lawyers and physicians differ, giving one kind of instruction than another. Due to Brahmana's different opinions, Subudhira became further perplexed. He did not know what to do and what not to do. Tabeyadi Mahaprabhu Varanasi Aila Tare Miliraya Vana Vrittama Kahila. In this state of perplexity, Subudhira met Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Lord was at Varanasi. Subudhira explained his position and asked Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu what he should do. The Lord advised him, go to Vrindavan and chant Hare Krishna mantra constantly. Prabhu kahe iha hai te yaha vrindavana nirantara kara Krishna nama sankirtana. The Lord advised you go to Vrindavan and chant the Hare Krishna mantra constantly. This is the solution to all sinful activities. In this age of Kali, everyone is perplexed. There are so many inconveniences, social, political, religious, and naturally no one is happy. Due to the contamination of this age, everyone has a very short life. There are many fools and rascals who advise people to adopt this way of life or that way of life. The real liberation of the life perplexity means preparation for the next life. Tata dehantara prapti dhira satrana muhyati. One should be situated in his spiritual identity and return home back to Godhead. The simplest method for this is recommended here by Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should constantly chant the holy names of God, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following in the movement, following in the footsteps of the Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Krishna consciousness movement is recommending this process all over the world. We are saying chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, be free from all the complexity of life and realize Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Engage in His devotion service and perfect your life so that you can return home back to Godhead. Eka nama bhashi tumara papa ghosha have, ara nama laite Krishna charana paive. Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further advised Subhuti Raya, begin chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And when your chanting is almost pure, all your sinful reactions will go away. After you chant perfectly, you will get shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. After you chant perfectly, you will get shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Purport. The 10 kind of offenses should be considered in the beginning when you are initiated into the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There are naturally many offenses. Therefore, the devotee should very carefully try to avoid these offenses and chant purely. This does not mean the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is sometimes pure and sometimes impure. Rather, the chanting is impure due to the material contamination. He has to purify himself so the holy name will be perfectly effective. Chanting the holy name of the Lord inoffensively will help one get immediate shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. This means that by chanting purely, one will be immediately situated on the transcendental platform. We should note, however, that according to Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, one should not wait to purify himself before chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Whatever our condition may be, we should begin chanting immediately. By the power of the Hare Krishna mantra, we will gradually be relieved from all the material contamination and will get shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, the ultimate goal of life. Ada Krishna nama laite Krishna sthane sthiti Mahapata kare haya iya prayashiti. When elevated to the lotus feet of Krishna, no sinful reactions can touch you. This is the best solution to all the sinful activities.